Hello, my name is Jennifer Gregory, and today I plan to discuss with you the different aspects of ethical issues in the healthcare industry, as well as discuss the ethical considerations in human research. The basis of scientific communication starts with clearly written and accurate data in a simple form that is easy to understand. Also, according to Newman in the Book of Understanding Research, ethical behavior begins and ends with you, the individual researcher. This really hit home with me. This is a big concept to conceive, but is very true, and this is why it is so important to use your best ethical judgment in all research studies. It is crucial that you are honest and follow the rules of the research to obtain valid results. Part of the ethical code is to never lie, and this also includes plagiarizing someone else's work. It is also important to never submit fraudulent results of a study because it is unethical and could ruin your standing and reputation in the research community. It is important to treat all test subjects respectfully and protect them from any foreseeable harm. This includes physical, emotional, psychological, and legal harm. This also includes always protecting their personal information. The study should be evaluated by the Institutional Review Board to ensure that the benefits of the study outweigh the risk, and this will also help ensure the safety of the subjects. Researchers must always get informed consent before enrolling a subject in any type of research study. Informed consent is required by different regulations, laws, and by the Code of Ethics in Scientific Research. A signature is necessary if any type of risk is involved. Exceptions to the rule for signed consent are in field research that is performed in a public place. Also, some types of questionnaire surveys that don't ask extremely personal information about the participant do not require a signature. The subject should never be bribed, forced, or threatened into participating in a study, as this is unethical behavior and against the law. The subject should be provided with necessary information about the research study so that they can make an informed decision, and it should be available in the subject's primary language. Consent should also be written and understandable for anyone with an 8th grade graduation education level or higher, and further explanation should be provided if necessary. Participants also have the right to end their participation and withdraw from the study at any time based on the principles of voluntary participation. Principles of voluntary participation came into being in 1948 when the Nuremberg Code was first put into effect. These rules were implemented to protect society from misconduct of the past years, such as the Tuskegee syphilis study and the German Nazi concentration camps. Unfortunately, there continued to be injustice among test subjects in research studies until the 1970s, when the National Research Act was put into effect in the United States. It is important to be honest and factual and provide information for the research subjects that they can understand, except in cases that the truth may negatively affect the research. An example noted in Chapter 3 of Understanding Research is the study about people's posture. And if the subjects are aware that they were being studied based on their posture, they may subconsciously sit up straighter or not slouch in a certain way that they normally would. Researchers should not use deception in research studies unless there are strict rules followed. These rules include informing participants after the study is over what the reason for the study was and why the researcher had to use deceptive measures. Even in a study that is deceptive in nature, it is required to get informed consent. It is essential that the study has a clear and measurable outcome that will justify the necessary means of obtaining the information needed. In a study using deception, it is imperative that the deception is utilized for the least amount of time possible. It is sometimes difficult to maintain a person's anonymity in a small group, but it is essential to select the appropriate style, type, and questions to help prevent that from happening. Confidentiality must be protected at all times by not allowing subjects' private information to be provided to the public. The only exception to this rule is that if you find someone is in true harm or at risk of injury or death, then you must report it. In the United States, the Institutional Review Board utilizes to ensure that the proposed study is ethical and appropriate for the research purpose. Their goal is to ensure the safety of the research participants. The IRB can require changes or modifications be made to the research study, and they can stop the study immediately if there is a question of possible harm or undue risk to test subjects. Also, it is mandatory that the questions on a survey questionnaire that are thoroughly and carefully written as to not be confusing or misleading, because this can cause invalid end results and raise ethical concerns. I always try to speak clearly and avoid technical terms that could be confusing for some people. It is best to speak at an 8th grade level so that I am more easily understood. I will also avoid abbreviations and slang. I have a tendency to speak fast and change subjects quickly, so I need to speak slower and stay on topic that is being discussed. I will also be sure that there are no questions that need to be answered before moving on to the next portion of the conversation. It is important to ensure that everyone understands and the communication practice that they allow to contribute to the conversation. This helps them to provide additional information, as well as feeling that the information they provided is valuable and important, because it is. They are essential to the research that we are collecting and studying. Any written information or questions should be written in a way that makes sense to everyone, and that the information is not confusing or misleading. It is also necessary to avoid using emotional words like love or hate that could appear that you favor one topic over another. Using neutral words helps to get honest answers. The questions should be short, precise, and difficult to misinterpret. Lastly, when writing a proper correspondence, it's important to address the person and the information is being sent to by their full name and title, as well as to include your full name and title. Use appropriate wording and avoid technical jargon to target your given audience. Be sure to check your punctuation and spelling before submitting the information. It is crucial to fully explain your thoughts and ideas, and to provide any explanation further if appropriate. Thank you, and have a great day.